to the next point. We should ensure whatever we say is clear.
That means work is being done. We can see that it is in opposite direction.
Hello, listeners and viewers at home. It's nice being with you on yet another edition of our regular English language class. Today on this class, we are going to talk about the introduction to vocabulary development. But before then, my name is Mercy Bainta-Kude, one of your regular English language teachers on the radio and television e-learning classes. With me today is one of your interpreters, Mr. Patrick Ishaya. So come along with me as we discover what vocabulary development is. To start with, what is vocabulary? Most times you talk amongst yourselves that you need to speak some vocabs, you need to speak some words. But what is the definition for vocabulary? We have it that the definition of the word vocabulary is a set of words within a language that are familiar to a person. When you use a particular set or group of words that you are familiar with, that becomes your vocabulary, which means vocabulary has got to do with words. Remember from the very beginning of the e-lesson classes, we talked about words. And I remember telling you that you need words in every area of life, every field of endeavor, you need words. I also remember highlighting that words are the building block in the education process. So today, we are establishing that indeed, words are very important. They are very vital in the field of learning. A vocabulary is usually developed with time. You don't learn in a day. You begin a process and it keeps going. It keeps moving. So you develop a vocabulary with time. And it serves as a useful and fundamental tool for communication and acquiring of knowledge. That is your tool. Words are your building blocks. You need to develop words. Why do you need to do so? Because you need to acquire knowledge. You need to express yourself very clearly when communicating. So, vocabulary is very important. Now, simply said, vocabulary is all the language and words used or understood by a person or group of persons. The group of words that you as a person understand becomes your vocabulary. When you have a group of persons, the kind of words they use, the kind of words they understand become their vocabulary. This simply means that every field of endeavor, every area of human activity has its particular kind of words that is always used. Why is it so? It's like that so that it enhances understanding. Once it's not your vocabulary, it means you have to learn it. So we will need to keep learning. Vocabulary could be a language used by a group of persons, like I said. Let's take the doctors, for example. For instance, there are names for different types of doctors. And such names include, you could hear a doctor is the general practitioner, another is a dermatologist, we have cardiologists, gynecologists, obstetrician, optometrists, dentists, and pediatricians. All these are different names for different types of doctors. By the names, you know that the work for each doctor is different. Some words associated with medicine, still talking about doctors and medicine, we have names associated to medicine, like we have the nostrum, we have panacea, prescription, tonic, capsule, pill, injection, ointment, syrup, antibiotic, antiseptic, purgative, remedy, and pharmaceuticals. These are words that we hear doctors use in the hospital. I know, my learners, at one point or the other, you have had reasons to visit a hospital. And at one point also or the other, you have listened or you had doctors use some of these words. But the question is, have you ever taken time to ask yourself what these words mean? If you have not done so, please, I urge you to always endeavor to capture these words, get a dictionary, learn the meaning of these words so that it will enhance your understanding of what the doctor is saying or what the doctor is doing or giving to you. So, we move on. What is vocabulary development? Our first definition is just on vocabulary, but here we have added development. What is vocabulary development? This is a process by which people acquire words. For example, a child grows and produces words around him and thereby develop his vocabulary. In our homes, we have babies. When babies, as they grow, they learn how to talk. They babble, they move into the telegraphic stage of words, and the learning process begins with a sound, and it begins with short words. For example, a baby that wants to learn how to call mommy will begin with ma. Before you know it, it's already saying mama. The one that wants to learn how to call daddy will begin with da. The next thing is dada, and that is how it goes. These words that the child uses and understands are strictly the child's vocabulary. But for learners in school, you have grown past that. So at each point in time, depending on what you're studying, you need to understand the meaning of the words used in that area. So, why do we need to improve on our vocabulary? As a learner, why do you need to improve on your vocabulary? Improving vocabulary skills will help you to do the following. Number one, it will help you understand the novels and the textbooks that you read. Remember, vocabulary is about words. Where you don't understand the meaning of the words, it makes your reading difficult. So, for you to be able to understand the novels and the textbooks that you read, you need to improve on your vocabulary. 2, it helps develop language ability. It is true that learners who develop a rich vocabulary tend to be deeper thinkers. They express themselves better and they read more. When you have power over words, when you understand the words that you use, this enables you to think deeper than someone that does not know the meaning of words. And remember, knowledge is power. For instance, if you do not know the meaning of a dermatologist, a learner that understands the meaning of a dermatologist has advantage over you. Because you do not understand the meaning, you will be confused, and at the end, learning will be boring. So there is a need, a very dear need for us to understand the meaning of these words so that learning will be very easy for us, so that when other people are discussing, as soon as we hear what they say, we understand what they say and we learn more. Importance of learning vocabulary. Importance of learning vocabulary. A robust vocabulary improves all areas of communication. Once your vocabulary is robust, it improves all areas of communication. Remember, the communication skills are listening skills, speaking skills, reading skills, and writing skills. These are the 4 variables that we have in communication. Once you are able to develop your skills in these 4 areas, you are good to go. It means you'll be able to fit in any area you find yourself. At least to an average point, you should be able to fit in. So, vocabulary is important to a learner's success for the following reasons. 1, vocabulary growth is directly related to school achievement. That is one importance. For you to be able to achieve success in your school activities, you need to develop your vocabulary all round. Remember, in schools, you have various subjects that are running. You need to understand the vocabulary used in chemistry. You need to understand those used in geography. You need to understand the vocabulary used in the social studies class, and it goes on like that. 2, the size of a student's vocabulary predicts the ability to learn and be prolific. What does it mean to be prolific? It means you are able to read wide. You don't limit yourself to a particular area. So the level of vocabulary that you understand is what helps you to read wide. If your vocabulary is poor, it means you will be having difficulties reading even simple storybooks. But if your vocabulary is rich, you could read wider than people expect, and you are already achieving success. Why is learning vocabulary important? We just talked about the importance of vocabulary. The question now is, why is it important to learn vocabularies? 1, vocabularies play an important part in learning to read because it is the key to comprehension. It is the key to comprehension. You will agree with me that comprehension means understanding. When you read and you don't comprehend, it means you don't understand what you are reading. You only look at the print and you keep moving. That is not learning. When you learn, you understand the meaning of words you use. Why is it so? Because when you understand the meaning of words, it simplifies the message that you are trying to get. So, vocabulary plays an important part in learning to read because it is key to comprehension. 2, you cannot understand what you are reading without knowing about what most of the words mean. Assuming you are presented, a passage is presented to you, and most of the words used there are words that are new to you. It means you have to slow down on your reading, get a dictionary, try to understand the meaning of these words. By the time you do so, you will be connecting ideas, and at the end, you will get the message that the writer is trying to pass across. So, we need to have a great understanding of the meaning of words in order to enhance understanding of our passages. It is important to have a large vocabulary bank. It is important to have a large vocabulary bank. Why is it so? Remember, we are human beings and we cut across different fields of human activity. So that is how it goes. When you are in a particular area, if you don't understand the language, your stay there will be futile. You will not be able to get what you're supposed to get. So enlarge your vocabulary bank. Why is it important to have a large vocabulary bank? Number 1, expanding your vocabulary can do more than improve your reading and writing skills. When you expand your vocabulary, it goes beyond just reading and writing. You will be able to coordinate yourself. You'll be able to decode and encode as people talk. As you move on with learning, you will learn so many things. Remember, there's what we call general knowledge. Where you don't have the vocabulary, acquiring knowledge generally becomes a problem. So we need to read wide. Remember the word prolific. We need to read wide. Why do we need to read wide? So that we'll be able to be integrated into the society. We'll be able to make success as it concerns our academic endeavor. 2, it allows us to choose words with greater precision and help build rich representation of words. When you have a good vocabulary, you have the option of using synonyms to those words. For example, the synonym. Synonym is a word that is nearest in meaning or the same in meaning. So if you have a rich vocabulary, you will be able to use another word in place of the original word used. And this will equally help you in answering your summary questions. Once you know the synonyms of words, it helps you summarize. It helps you bring down a passage, makes it brief but in a concise manner. Now, what is the purpose of vocabulary? What's the purpose? Yes, it's important, we've been saying it, but what really is the purpose of learning vocabulary. Comprehension improves when you know what the words mean. Since comprehension is the ultimate goal of reading, you cannot overestimate the importance of vocabulary development. Words are the currency of communication. Words are the currency. Remember, words are the currency of communication. You communicate, yes. How do you do it? You use words to communicate. You know the importance of currency. Without currency, life becomes difficult to an extent. So, without words, communication becomes difficult. So, imagine communication as money, and it goes on like that. So, your vocabulary is the currency that you use, that you need in communication, just like words are the building blocks that you need in learning. 5 reasons why vocabulary development matters. 1. It improves reading comprehension. Vocabulary development matters because it improves reading comprehension. 2. It is vital to language development. It is vital. It is important. You cannot do without it as long as language development is concerned. 3. It makes it easy for you to clearly communicate ideas. If you have the right words, communicating the right ideas will not be a problem. You will just flow smoothly and you're done. 4. It makes you express yourself better in writing. If you have the words, writing is always easy. But where the words are not there, where the vocabulary is not there, it simply means you don't even have anything to write. So it frustrates you. 5. It improves occupational success. If you have the vocabulary, you are already floating in the market, so it improves your occupational success. Five ways of improving vocabulary. 1. For you to improve your vocabulary, you need to take a deliberate and systematic approach to practice and learn new words. You don't have to wait for your teacher to say it. You need to be deliberate about it. You need to be systematic about it. Take the bull by the horn. Learn new words. Learn new words so that you will improve your vocabulary and it will make you fit in the society. 2. Always read for meaning. If you are presented with a passage, what is the meaning that is expected here? Read because you want to make meaning out of what you are reading. 3. Learn meaning of vocabulary as used in the context. Now, number 3 here is a bit cloudy. Learn meaning of vocabulary as used in the context. In the context. Why is it in the context? You would have noticed that a word could have more than 2 meanings. There are words that have 3, 4, 5 different kinds of meaning. And you would see that such words are used in particular areas. So all you need to do, get your dictionary, study the meanings, and select the one that is related to what the passage is talking about. It means you are getting meaning within the context of the passage. Get the meaning that relates to that context. That is what you do to get the meaning there. 4. Learn vocabulary specific to content. Vocabulary specific to content. Like the example we gave from the beginning of the lesson, words associated to medicine. Such words that we listed, dermatologist, capsule, pill, tonic, syrup. These are words that are specific to the content of medicine. So you need to learn words that are connected, words that are associated to a particular field of endeavor. Another example is in the field of football. There are particular words. If you remember one of our lessons on closed text, we had our context within the field of football, and that is what it means. So restrict yourself to a particular content to enable you flow freely. 5, learn words and their synonyms. When you learn a word, what is another word that we can use for it? For example, dark, black. Depending on what you're talking about, dark could go for black, depending on the situation or the context. So be careful and learn synonyms and use them accordingly. How to learn new words? There's always a way you do things. How do we learn new words? Number 1, write the words with their definitions in a notebook. Remember, I once advised you get a grammar book. That is the notebook we're talking about. So write your new word and the meaning in your grammar book. 2, write the words and definitions on small cards. You can cut off small cards. Write the words. Just enjoy what you're doing. Write the word and write the definition there. Then use the words repeatedly. Remember, practice makes perfect. When you don't practice it, you will not get it. But if you practice it, it becomes part of you. Just enjoy it and keep moving. So use the words repeatedly. 4, use an electronic dictionary to hear how words are pronounced. Thank God for Android phones. We have dictionaries on our Android phones, and most of them have speakers. Type your word, press the speaker, and listen to how it is being pronounced. 5, put the words into the various groups they belong to. Check the category of words that you have learned, then group them according to where they are associated with. So, by way of rounding off this lesson, vocabulary building is a powerful way to enhance your study life and career. Building a large vocabulary bank can benefit you in school, at work, and even socially. It will enable you to understand other people's ideas better and to have the satisfaction of getting your thoughts and ideas across more effectively. When you build your vocabulary, you understand people better and people understand you better. And this helps you carry your thoughts. What are you thinking of? What message do you intend to pass across? This helps you carry it, and we move on. So remember, you need to learn words, you need to learn the meaning, and it makes learning easy. For our assignment today, we have number 1, use a dictionary to find the meaning of the following words associated with medicine. Use a dictionary to find the meaning of the following words associated with medicine. 1, dermatologist. 2, gynecologist. 3, pediatrician. 4, antibiotic. 5, antiseptic. 6, prescription. 7, tonic. 8, syrup. 9, ointment. Number 10, injection. 2, make a sentence with each word in one above. It's a very simple thing for you to do. Just get your dictionary, try to search the meaning of the 10 words listed in 1, then use the words in making sentences. That is how it goes. Remember, get your notebook, get your grammar book, write down new words, then get a copy of the dictionary. If you have an Android phone, that would be beautiful. If you don't have, maybe daddy has one or mommy has one. Endeavor to take permission, then you use mommy's phone to get the meaning of these words. Also learn to listen to how the words are pronounced. And at the end, you will be happy that you did. Our references: 1, New Concept English for Senior Secondary Schools by J. Eyisi, T. Adepoju et al., Learn Africa PLC, Ikeja, Lagos. 2, www.englishclub.com, 1997 to 2020. Remember, my name is Mercy Baintakude. You can contact me on 080 250-25339. Once again, your interpreter for this lesson is Mr. Patrick Ishaya. As you do your work at home, stay safe and keep learning until we come your way again. It's goodbye for now.